Hello coloring friends. So today I will finally show you my completed pictures for the month of April. Those who watch my weekly videos have already seen them. In my weekly videos I talk a lot more. I tell about medias I used, sometimes about the process of choosing colors, or maybe sometimes about the story behind this or that picture, about how I choose what to color, some stuff like that. And well, I do talk more in those videos. So for those who like more talking, I recommend to watch those weekly videos. And in monthly videos about completed pictures, I will be just generally showing my works and mentioning what materials I used, where I remember what I used, because after some time I tend to forget, especially if I used many medias. So in April I colored 12 illustrations, and this is quite a big number for me. Usually it used to be more like 8, 10 or less. So it seems like this weekly planning does help me to color more. And so let's start. I will show you first my two pictures that I did on printed pages. The first one is from Serenaiya by Christina McAlister. I really like this illustration and I really love this coloring book. Enjoy very much coloring. I've colored 2 so far, but I'm planning to do more. And again, this girl was inspired kind of by the Avatar movie. And here I used markers and colored pencils, I believe. I like how the girl turned out. Just my style, very bright. And this illustration is from Norse Mythology by Jade, and I colored it with pastel pencils from Derwent. It was a challenge from Sami's coloring checklist challenge, and it was an interesting experience, but I can't say that I enjoyed it that much because I get messy while using pastels, but nevertheless I'm quite satisfied with the result, and the guy looks quite bright and yeah. So the next one is the only very simple illustration that I did in April. It's mandalas, color by number, and I did this picture. Nothing special, just for a challenge. I used markers. The next comes Cats by Aurélie Castex and Claire Lode. I color in this book quite often. Excuse me, this is my cat making some noise. Yeah. And I did this illustration. I imagine this is a circus performance, and here I used stencils and metallic, no metallic, glittering gel pens, and very simple but interesting illustration. I had fun coloring it. Acrylic background, glitter gel pens, and some budget pencils, because I don't use like expensive pencils in this book. Then the next book is Color My Sketchbook by Bennet, Klein, Mythic. And I did this vampire pattern. Again, I am happy how it turned out unexpectedly. Before I started coloring, I didn't read the name of this illustration, but I chose 3 shades of red because this black color already been here, and then I added a golden gel pen, and then I read that it's vampire pattern and I was like, yeah, red color is quite for the theme. Then I colored one illustration from Saga Fire and Water by Chinthaka, Herath. This book stayed untouched for some time, and finally I decided to color something in it, and it was this frozen mermaid. It was an interesting picture to color because of unusual story behind it. I believe, like, you know, dying mermaid with sword in her heart. And here I tried to create an illusion of this rock of ice and the mermaid inside it. I believe it does look like an ice rock, at least a little bit. And here I used colored pencils, little bit of glitter gel pens, and white gel pen, of course, and yes, marker for her skin, and then I shaded with pencils. The next is illustration from Gods and Beasts by Adam Fisher. It's a small sized coloring book, and I colored this goddess Persephone. Her face looks a little bit weird to me, maybe scary for others, maybe ugly for someone. But for me just a little bit strange. Anyway, I enjoyed color her, and I like how bright everything turned out. And I used markers and pencils here. The next illustration is from The World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. And I did this illustration. I used colored pencils for the flowers and Durban ink pens for the background because I was really tired of this picture by the end. It's not that I'm too happy about it, it's okay. And I will show you one more illustration colored by Anya. She colored this picture along with me, but she didn't send it to me at first because she was not confident enough to show her picture, but at the end she decided to send it, and I'm happy she did. And now you all can see her picture. For me it looks beautiful, and we should not be that too much hard on ourselves when we think maybe we are not good enough. Everyone has their own style and their own preferences, so you should not compare your picture with someone else's picture. They are just different. Thank you, Anya, that you decided to send your picture after all. The next illustration is from Myth and Magic coloring book by Kinuko Y.Craft. I really love this book. I love these illustrations. I don't color that often in it, but I have already a few illustrations completed in this book, and in April I did this angel. This page I colored quite quickly, surprisingly, and it was enjoyable and easy coloring. And here I used kids gel crayons for the background. It was really fun, and I like how it looks, bright enough and interesting. Then I used markers for the angel, and there were a lot of black lines, and this dress supposed to be transparent, so then I covered all the black lines with white gel pen, and on her wings too. And then I went with Dorwent Intense over that white lines on her wings, so you can't see any black or any white lines. I like how it looks. And a lot of white gel pen for the stars, of course. Quite simple but a beautiful illustration. I love it. Again, one small book, and again it was untouched. And finally I decided to color an illustration from this book. It's Dragon's Kingdom by Juliana Emerson, and I colored this cute dragon. It turned out okay, I would say. The problem was with the paper. It's very thin, and it's not easy to work on this paper, and I used prismas here and polychromos, and I think polychromos work a little bit better on this paper, because where I used prismas I had to use blender after that, because there were too many white spots on the covered area. And I used a little bit of a metallic, glittering gel pen on the horns and on this thing and on the nails, and white gel pen to make these flowers kind of like transparent, and all the rest are pencils. Then I did one illustration in Vilin Sun by Tomislav Tomic. Again, this book I colored one double spread quite a long time ago, this one, and then I didn't touch this book for a long time, and so finally I decided to color something else, and I did this I don't know, flying dragons, dragonflies. I don't know how these things are called, and I didn't want them to make completely green, and I decided to make their wings bright pink, and I like this color combination. It looks quite bright, contrasty, and I really love how this picture turned out. And here I used pencils, yes, and little bit of white gel pen, that's all. Everything done with pencil, and that's why such pictures take a lot of time to complete. And the last picture for the month of April is this one. Coloring Heaven calendar. This is quite big, and this is only second picture that I completed in this calendar, though I want to complete this calendar completely by the end of the year, but I don't know, some illustration illustrations don't inspire me at all. I don't know, maybe later, but not at the moment. I look at them and I don't feel like coloring them. So I will wait and see. But this illustration I did enjoy. It's by I forgot the name. Where is it? Kelly O'Gorman, yes, Kelly O'Gorman. And here I used markers as a base layer, and then shaded, and at some places covered completely with pencils and pencil for the background. And again, I'm glad how it turned out. I really like it. Whenever I see a rabbit, I see him either blue or pink. I don't know, I don't see rabbits in their natural color. Like the next picture here is by Kinuko, I believe. And I was supposed to color this next. And there are rabbits here, and when I imagine coloring them realistically, I feel dull, you know. But to color them pink or blue, I don't know. But maybe I will do that after all, because I don't feel like coloring in realistic way this picture, these rabbits. Okay, that was all for the month of April. I hope you liked my pictures, and thank you for watching. Until the next time, bye.